Example 8, we're looking at solving, and in this case, 8a is solving for all real numbers. So when we're solving, we have to first of all solve for the ratio, for the sine in this case. We have to think of the theta 1, theta 2, and when we have these, in this case here, these compressions, okay, the horizontal compression here, we have to think of the period of the repetitions. Okay, so the first part is we need to actually just solve for sine. So I'm going to factor first. So I'm going to factor this 3x, sine 3x out. And I'm going to end up with sine 3x plus 1 times sine 3x. And that means I can solve these two independently since I factored them. So I'm going to do one of them in red. So sine 3x, we can solve for sine 3x equal to 0. So once I've solved for the sine, I need to solve for the angle. To do that, I need to undo the sine. So I'm going to undo the sine by drawing my circle in. Okay, and where sine is equal to 0 is going to be in these two positions here. There's my theta 1 and theta 2. So the angle 3x could be equal to 0. That's my theta 1. Solving for x, I divide by 3. So I don't worry about that 3 until I actually solve for the angle. So then I have theta 2 as well. The other angle is at pi. And then solving for x, I get pi over 3. Okay, so those are my two solutions so far. I'm going to worry about the repetitions later. I'm going to solve for the next part first. So then I'm going to solve for the sine 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. So I end up with sine 3x equals negative 1. Okay, so I've solved for the sine. I now need to solve for the angle. I need to undo the sine ratio. Okay, sine is equal to negative 1 down at the bottom. And in this case, there are no theta 1, theta 2s because of symmetry. When I fold along the y-axis, I only get one angle. So that angle is going to be equal to 3 pi over 2. Okay, once I've solved for the angle, now I can worry about that times 3, and I'm going to divide by 3 at this point. So I get 3 pi over 2 divided by 3 gives me pi over 2. So this gives me my three primary solutions, okay, in one period. I have 1 period worth of solutions. Now, this is where I need to worry about the horizontal compression because that affects my period. My period is now going to be 2 pi over 3. So to work out the repetitions then, I need to add n 2 pi over 3 to each solution. These are my primary solutions. I get another solution as I go 1 period over 2 pi over 3. From that angle, 2 pi over 3 from this angle, and then 2 pi over 3 from this angle. And n is an integer. Okay, you can write it like that, or we can write n-e like that as well. But in any case, the repetitions are going to be found by jumping by increments of the period 2 pi over 3.